The state of Oklahoma executed James Coddington today. A jury had convicted Coddington in 2003 for the 1997 murder of Albert Hale, when Hale refused to give Coddington money for drugs. News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter was in McAllister today and has more.
Witnesses say James Coddington didn't show any remorse in his final words. He didn't mention Albert Hale, the crime, or Hale's family. Instead, he thanked his own family and friends. Now, Hale's son says his family didn't want to be here today, but they came to represent their dad because so much of the focus is always on the killer, not the victim.
There's a lot of talk about closure. There's no such thing as that. And when you've dealt with this, today's not a good day, it's not a bad day, it's just a new day for our family. We can finally move on.
Mitchell Hale says his dad, Albert, was a great man and a pillar of his community. He says when James Coddington killed him 25 years ago, the loss caused permanent damage to their family.
He was just a friendly, accepting guy, kind of had, a soft spot for the, downtrodden, and instilled that in us to look out for our fellow man. And it didn't work out for him doing that, but I'm not going to stop. That's how we were raised.
Coddington was convicted in 2003 for beating Albert Hale to death with a hammer because Hale wouldn't give him drug money. The Pardon and Parole Board recommended clemency for Coddington earlier this month, but Governor Kevin Stitt rejected that recommendation yesterday. Witnesses to the execution say Coddington took about a minute to give his final words and gave his attorney a thumbs up. Scott Crow, the director of the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, says the execution went as planned.
Absolutely no issues. The execution today went in accordance with the protocol with no issues at all.
Hale's son says while there is no closure, he has forgiven his father's killer.
The forgiveness isn't for James Coddington. The forgiveness is for me. You're carrying this burden with you for so long. I just finally had to just let it go and just, I forgive him, but that doesn't release him from, consequences of his actions.
The state's next execution will be in about 2 months on October 20th. Benjamin Cole is scheduled to be put to death for killing his infant daughter. In McAllister, Reagan Ledbetter, Oklahoma's Own News on 6.